Ronaldo.
What? What?
Marvel Rivals is my game of the year. Boom, done, video's over. Just kidding. But to look back at the recent state of Marvel games and compare them to this game is pretty interesting. You've had Marvel Spider-Man and Spider-Man Miles Morales, which were amazing games in my opinion. I haven't played Spider-Man 2 yet, but from what I've heard, it was pretty solid. We had Marvel's Avengers.
Please, cancer, look at my hair.
We had the Lego games, Midnight Suns, Ultimate Alliance 3 Black Order. Only on Switch. The Deadpool game, a shit ton of mobile games for some reason. Oh, what's this? Cool concept art. In terms of multiplayer games, we haven't really had any for Marvel. So when I heard that Marvel was making a 6v6 shooter game, I was like, yeah, sure, that's not gonna happen. And I watched the trailer.
Holy shit.
When I first saw this trailer, my jaw absolutely dropped. If you don't know me, I'm a huge fan of shooters. I remember when Endgame came out and they collabed with Fortnite. It gave me an idea of a Marvel multiplayer game, a 13-year-old dream that would probably never come true. But goddamn, I'm glad I was proven wrong. I think it's kind of important to look at the company behind Marvel Rivals, because something I haven't really seen a lot of people talk about is that Netese is mostly known for helping with some of Blizzard's Chinese games, like World of Warcraft, StarCraft, and a very important character in this game's making, Overwatch. Now, while they do say they left Blizzard for disagreements over intellectual property control, I can also imagine it was for other reasons. Netese is also known for making mobile games like Dead by Daylight Mobile. Oh god, do I really want to fucking support this? But I think it's important to look at their history, because they did a great job. Okay, firstly, the look of the game. I was somewhat skeptical of the design and look at the characters at first. Some of them just looked a little off, but after getting more familiar with the characters in the game, designs and look of everything feels pretty spot on. It kind of reminds me of the look of the Walking Dead Telltale games, with the comic book feeling to it. I also have to say, the music in this game and the trailers are just mwah, chef's kiss, baby. The maps in this game also make me really excited to see what they do with them, and what they can pull from the comics. It might just be the Marvel fan in me, but the maps are really great. And the fact that each map is going to have its own unique features is really different and a nice change of pace, I find. Also, the characters in this game feel and play exactly how you would expect. I was somewhat expecting to see a couple of characters that felt straightly ripped from Overwatch, but to my surprise there was none. At least in my opinion. The flying characters also felt super solid to move around with. Anyone else find it funny how this game fixed most of Overwatch's issues? Like, bam, it's great, right? Also, I really hope we get little short films for this game like we did for Overwatch, because that cinematic trailer just went so fucking hard. Also, Roll Queue isn't needed. I'd say add a separate mode for it, but don't add it to casual. Make it specifically for competitive. I think Roll Queue kind of takes away from what I think made OG Overwatch fun, is the fact that there was none. You could have 3 tanks and 3 healers or a full team of DPSs. Like, I think Roll Queue works on paper, but just on paper. So no, I don't think Roll Queue is required for this game, but if they do add it later down the line, I don't think I would mind it. Now, something I was not expecting this game to have was a pretty familiar sounding voice cast of Marvel actors. Most of you probably know your Lowenthal Spider-Man. It's not my Spider-Man. He's playing Iron Man, surprisingly. I thought he'd be playing Captain America. Fred Torsko, Nolan Norris, James Aaron Taylor, Travis Willingham. Twice, actually. It made the game a lot easier to settle in with the cast of characters. The new voice actors are pretty good too. Some personal standouts are Elijah Mountjoy as the Winter Soldier,
Armed and dangerous.
and Daniel Marin as Namor.
This fishman.
I was gonna make a separate segment on what I don't like about this game, but you probably already know, and it's the optimization. I have seen streamers with 4090s have issues with this game, and that's saying a lot. And if your game is crashing just by having it on the lowest of settings, then I'm sorry. But if it's like that on launch, I don't think you're gonna have a lot of people playing this game. But granted, that was just a beta. I'm not expecting any of these issues from that to appear in the full release. Only reason I'm bringing this up is because most new-gen games just seem to have an issue with this, where even good computers still run like shit. Not mine though. Look at this beauty. Apart from that small issue, it didn't take away any enjoyment I had. This game still feels pretty solid overall, and again, it was a beta. The full release should be much different. Some small things I also like. The UI is nice, characters feel pretty balanced, the skins are great, Conquest mode is cool, but the maps feel a bit too small for a deathmatch mode. Also, game devs, if you're watching this, please let there be achievements in the game. I've heard that name thrown around a lot when talking about this game. Will this game be the Overwatch Killer? Maybe. While making this video, Overwatch is sitting at around 30,000 players on Steam. That doesn't sound very dead to me. It sounds pretty active. I think it depends. Blizzard has recently stated that they're going to be bringing back 6v6 later down the line. I also found it funny when they announced this. This was the second day of the beta. Just another slight sign of admitting defeat from Blizzard. But the question is, and if they should bring back 6s, the question is, will it matter? Overwatch 2 has been on a steady decline since its release. A slow burn, I believe they call it. The cancellation of its story mode was really just adding to Blizzard's lack of care and motivation as a company. It was its whole marketing stunt. New abilities, missions, a PvE story mode, all just throwing them out the window, and then just brought back without all the cool neat stuff they promised. It's like that meme where they say they have it at home, and then you get Overwatch 2. I was once an Overwatch fan. I remember what Blizzard used to do for this game, and when the game was announced, I got giddy. And when it came out, I was a little late to the party, but I was there for the first Halloween event. There was a magic to it. I remember when I got that feeling of joy when I got my first play of the game, trying all the new heroes. And the amount of new variety of the so-called hero shooter really grew after its release. And then after a few years, it just slowly faded into obscurity. Overwatch was dead for most people, and it's not going to get any better after Rivals release. So, what can we learn from Overwatch? Don't neglect your project. Or, in better terms, don't be like Blizzard. If you want a better look at Overwatch's failure, I'd suggest going Indy's video, Overwatch Shouldn't Be Dying. It goes over a lot of Overwatch and Blizzard's faults, and is a great breakdown of how it got to this point. What makes Rivals special to me is that it gives me that same feeling that Overwatch did when it first came out. I'm hyped for new character announcements. I'm not constantly raging at dying because it felt unfair. Not only that, characters are characters that most people will know and love. 6v6 is also a thing. It also looks like the people behind this game give a shit. They've described it almost like a passion project, and they seem to know the Marvel Universe pretty well. They're even including newer and obscure characters. Like, I was not expecting characters like Magic and Luna Snow. But we really give this shit since we have Jeff the Shark Baby. Let's fucking go. They also have a roadmap as well, which you don't usually see before the game comes out. Not only that, we're getting 33 heroes in 8 maps on launch, with more to come, which is wild in my opinion. So who knows, we could get Cyclops in the future, we could get Big Wheel. Only time will tell.
Hey, what are you supposed to be, huh? Oh yeah? Full-size Snickers. Bam! Who does that?